Welcome to TRS Clips. Just know we've built this channel so that you binge watch the entire podcast through the highlights of different episodes. Like this video, but first, enjoy it. While I wanted to just talk about supplements with you on this episode, I can't help but talk about other weight training based concepts. I remember there was this concept that had really helped me a lot, which was called G-Flux. Do you remember this?
No, what's G-Flux?
It's basically, it's an easier way to get ripped. Like the basic concept is that you just spend a lot of calories. Like when you're doing your cardio, you go ham with your cardio.
Oh, so it's like HIIT or Tabata?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So therefore, you're over, and then if you combine that with weight training, it leads to better aesthetic results. You're basically burning off more calories and then still being in a caloric excess.
Yeah.
Through clean food. So say if you're...
so you'd be in excess, not deficit.
Yeah, you're in it's to put on muscle.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I understand.
So it's why when footballers take off their jerseys, there is a certain amount of rippedness even in footballers that you consider fat.
Yeah.
Like I remember people used to consider Wayne Rooney fat, but if he took off his t-shirt, he was ripped. That's an outcome of G-Flux, that they're burning off so many calories but still eating clean. Therefore, they end up looking like that. It's a very aesthetics-oriented topic.
Yeah.
You have anything to say?
Yeah, for sure. So I often have clients doing that style of training when they're in a calorie surplus, because there's going to be less, and if they're sleeping well, that their cortisol levels are low, they're managing stress, then that works great at keeping them lean whilst building muscle. The only time I stay away from a lot of HIIT work is usually when that person is in a major calorie deficit, because I don't want their cortisol spikes any more than the weight training workouts, because I'm trying to maintain or build muscle in that instance. If they're trying to build muscle and in a calorie surplus, their cortisol levels just aren't really as much of an issue for me. So then I usually do that. But occasionally I'll do it with people in a calorie surplus, calorie deficit on their non-training days. Never on a training day though.
What's the biology behind this? Like what actually changes when you do this level of caloric output based exercise versus when you don't?
Well, not only are you burning the fat at the duration of the time when you're doing the cardio, you continue to burn it for hours after. You know, your metabolism has been basically kickstart from that aerobic and anaerobic overload from that cardiovascular exercise that you've just done at a very high tempo. So your body still is requiring a lot more calories and burning through those calories for hours after that. Where with steady state, let's say you're on a power walk, you're going to burn the body fat during that movement and you're going to synthesize the food better after, but the fat burning only happens at that duration of time.
Yeah, I think the core concept behind G-Flux was what you spoke about, synthesization of food and improving your carb sensitivity.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you were to measure, with an Apple Watch or something like that, you'll notice that you burn so many more calories better throughout the day, more efficient.
Okay. In terms of HIIT, are you a fan of it?
Like, in a calorie surplus.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I used to train college kids, I would put all of them on it, and that gave me my best results. I don't know now whether this is an Indian thing or it was specific to those guys, but I think a lot of them were trying to put on muscle, and I feel it's a fantastic lifestyle to maintain if you can keep up with it mentally and keeping time as a factor.
It's a challenge for sure. But the one thing, the reason why I'm a fan of that when people are trying to put on muscle is put on weight, is that usually their cardiovascular function declines at that time. They're getting heavier. They get a little bit lazier sometimes and just focus all on weight training. And they think, okay, if I do any form of cardio now, that's going to be counterintuitive to my goal. I'm trying to retain all these calories. And it isn't always the fact. And they're not able to keep up the intensity of their workouts because they've become so unfit and not cardiovascular functional. So when they do that type of HIIT training in a calorie surplus, it only helps with the intensity of their workouts, their cardiovascular fitness. They can recover from their workouts so much better as well.
Conversely, if someone's lifting weights 6 times a week, but maintaining a short duration between sets, etc., does that count as enough cardio? Like on the 7th day, if they don't do anything?
No, I wouldn't say it's enough for their cardio aspect. You'll feel more of a cardio workout, maybe doing legs,
Hmm.
but that's pretty much it. It's not going to get your heart rate up consistently for long enough to be considered, heart healthy.
The biology behind doing cardio in the first place is to give your heart a workout.
Yeah, for sure.
Because even that's a muscle.
Yeah. And it helps with the recovery. If you've got a better blood flow throughout your body, which is going to transport nutrients to localized areas that you're going to train, then you recover so much better. I know if I do cardio, when I'm trying to build muscle, I recover so much better and I can train more intensely and more frequently.
If you enjoyed this video, just know that this channel was created to enhance and speed up your learning process. Some of India's brightest minds on India's biggest podcast, The Ranveer Show. This is TRS Clips, so make sure you check out all our playlists.